legendary bow angles.
After I had started my channel back in 2019 playing the Hunter Call of the Wild and consequently getting tired of the direction they were taking it, Way of the Hunter piqued my interest. So when 9rock Games sent me Way of the Hunter's Matariki Park to try out before release, I kind of saw it as a good way to get back into a hunting game. Today, I have put in the work for you, spending a good few hours of my time running around Matariki Park, getting a lay of the land to give you a heads-up guide on what you can expect out of this new DLC in terms of terrain and map details, animals and locations, as well as some helpful tips I've found along the way. So if you appreciate the effort now or after this video, I'd recommend a like and subscribe in exchange. As with all the map locations in Way of the Hunter, you start out at your lodge, featuring many different trophy mounting options. However, surrounding cabins around the park also feature taxidermy mounting options, which can be a fun way of reminding yourself of the hunts you've been on at those specific locations. Traveling around Matariki Park, you will find yourself constantly running with your binoculars at the ready. With wide open grasslands and plenty of rugged hills and mountainous terrain, you will likely be stopping often to survey the surrounding area. The middle of the map features the highlands of the park, featuring chamois, Himalayan tahr, Rocky Mountain elk, feral pigs, and wild boar. Ducks and geese will also frequently fly over this area, so if that is of interest, it doesn't hurt carrying around a shotgun. Many small ponds dot the highlands, allowing you to quickly run around the edge, gathering need zones for all the animals in the surrounding area. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, you may be reminded of the riders of Rohan traveling around all these rocks amongst the grassy plains.
What business? There's an elf, a man, and a dwarf having the Riddermark.
However, if you're like me and thinking this would be a great place to spot game, you may find them very difficult, if not impossible to climb. From what I can tell, the east and western sides of the park seem to be fairly similar in terms of wildlife, featuring a wide array of chamois and Himalayan tahr, to sambar, sika, red deer, whitetail, and more. The main difference you may find is in each section of the map that requires permission to hunt in. In the southwest, Awanui Tops is very mountainous and tropical, combining great hunting terrain for Himalayan tahr and chamois, with lowland streams full of sandbar. Diagonal from Awanui Tops on the northeastern side of the park is the Awaidi Woodlands, featuring many of the deer species of the park including fallow, red deer, whitetail, and sika. Both of these locations have thick woodlands harboring larger, mature animals. However, a tip I recommend is looking for the various streams that run through these forests, which can be ran along for need zones, giving you an idea of the animals that live in the nearby woods. You could then look for tracks and sign of life to catch up with the herd, or look up the animal in the encyclopedia for an idea of the time of day the animals may be drinking. Strangely, the largest difference I've found on the map so far has been the southeastern corner near Raki Raki Lake. This area seems to act as a showcase for all of Matariki Park, holding almost every animal on the map, including guinea fowl, pheasants, European rabbits, red deer, sika, whitetail, elk, chamois, feral pigs, and wild boar. So if you're making your first start on the map, I definitely recommend hitting this corner first. I'll show you now all the different lodges and campsites I've found so far, as well as many different scenic destinations represented by binoculars, stamp locations, which, not knowing what they are, might show my experience with the game, or it may be something to do with the storyline here at Matariki Park, as well as the various hunting stands. So feel free to pause the video at this point and use it to venture off into your own map if it's helpful for you. Originally, I wanted to do individual videos for the different animal species here at Matariki Park, but after venturing out and seeing how many different locations they inhabit, it sounded like way more work than I was looking forward to doing. So we'll quickly go through a few of the different animal species and where I've currently found them to give you a starting point in your own game. Chamois and Himalayan tahr. From what I've found, you will find chamois throughout the highlands as well as the western edge of the map where there is rugged, mountainous terrain. And where there is chamois, there is likely Himalayan tahr nearby. Knowing that the tahr were not featured in the New Zealand reserve in the Hunter Call of the Wild, I looked forward to the potential rare occasion I may run into these wild goats. However, as you'll come to find out, the tahr are everywhere at Matariki Park. And from a distance, they look like a herd of dark guinea pigs with their long hair until you notice the thick, slightly curled horns. You'll find both of these in herds of 6+. Feral goats and pigs, or hogs as we like to call them, you'll find the main difference between the feral hogs and boars at a distance is the patterns of their thick fur. Wild boars will be seen as brown with a silver back, while feral pigs may have patchy fur of various colors. Similarly, the feral goats also have patchy fur with a variety of colors. Each of them can be found in large herds around the map. However, I've seemed to find more feral goats on the western side of the park, whereas I've found more feral pigs on the eastern side of the park. Sika deer. At a distance, if you're like me, you'll often get these confused with whitetail, as the smaller bucks have similarly shaped antlers until you get a closer look at their spotted hide or get a view of a larger buck where the antler difference is more noticeable. I've found Sika deer in the top northwest corner as well as along the entire eastern side of the park. Sandbar deer. These big suckers are bound to be around the more lush tropical areas near water. Anywhere you see green and blue next to each other on the map, you're likely to find sandbar, especially on the western side and southwestern corner. Due to the thick forests and their size, it's quite likely that they'll scare the crap out of you running right by you at some point. So I just like to say, you've been warned. And lastly, the piece de resistance, the New Zealand red deer are quite a sight. I've only shot a small adult and 2-star mature, but the 2-star mature itself was a massive beast worthy of hanging on the wall. I haven't found as many good locations for these as I'd like to say. However, I would recommend the bottom southeast corner as a starting point, with the top northwest corner coming along afterwards, and the permission required to hunt Awaiti woodlands in the northeast, most likely hiding some massive deer worthy of the wall. As far as small game is concerned, I have seen rabbits and hares throughout the map, ducks and geese flying over frequently. However, I've currently only found guinea fowl and pheasants in the bottom southeast corner. It's a difficult hunting location to confidently carry around a .22 or a shotgun in exchange for a lower caliber rifle, as you're far more likely to see very large animals requiring a larger caliber, as well as many goats and smaller animals requiring a smaller caliber like the .243. I pretty much carry the wooden stock Steyr Pro Hunter in .243 and the Steyr Mannlicher full stock in 9.3x6.2 for my entire play so far, which has been very handy for covering pretty much any ungulate on the map. So I suppose when you're ready for the change of pace, you can swap out one of those rifles for a hunt for small game. Tripod stands were also added with this DLC, which are a great way to get some instant elevation, but I personally found that I was on the move so much I never really found a good opportunity to use them. But with that, I think that's a pretty good overview of what Matariki Park has to offer. If you have any questions about something I didn't cover so well, feel free to comment it down below and I'll be happy to give any feedback I can. Like I mentioned in the beginning, if you found the video helpful, I'd greatly appreciate a like and recommend subscribing for more videos. Comment down below if you'd like to see more videos from Way of the Hunter, as we mainly focus on fishing games at the moment, being the #1 fishing game channel on YouTube. However, being a hunter in real life, I'd love to dip our toes back into hunting games for an occasional change of pace. We live stream here on YouTube every Monday and Wednesday from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Central US, and if you have any interest in real life hunting, fishing, and travel, I'd recommend looking at the MDO or Modern Day Outdoorsman, where we catalog all of our adventures in the outdoors, and honestly, some of the videos are darn near professional. Anyway, take care everyone, we'll hopefully see you in the next video, and as always, remember everyone, we're one planet, one family, game on.